Hello people, this is a tricky one. I can barely play this, so this video will be like the nearsighted leading the blind in some respects, or maybe I'm blind and you're nearsighted, I don't know. Anyway, Just Breathe up next. Now this one is a request from one of our lovely new Patreons. If you don't know what that is, check the link below, but lots of good stuff over there. And his name is Vikram Subhadar, and I hope I've pronounced your name right. I'm sure that's right, because you gave me the phonetic spelling and everything, so it's often my way to at least get the name wrong once, at least. So I hope that's okay. Now you might want to dive into this tune, and you are welcome to do so. But what I'd encourage you to do first is to try and get the picking down first, because you'll just nail the tune so much quicker if this hand is doing what it's supposed to be, okay? Now all the way through this is using a technique called Travis picking, or a version of Travis picking. And that's where your thumb is playing the first and third notes. And the other fingers are filling in the gaps. Now in its simplest form, a Travis picking pattern could be like this. Now if I take away my I and A fingers, you'll just hear this. And if I put them back on, if I take off the bass, that's it. So all you're doing is alternating between thumb, first finger, thumb, middle finger. Thumb, first finger, thumb, middle finger, okay? You'll actually hear Eddie playing pretty much that pattern verbatim later on in the tune. So I think with the A minor and the F come in, and the F. Now Eddie does just a variation on this, but it's still Travis picking, because he's going, then he's missing out the next 16th note, and then he plays. And then at the end of each phrase he's adding just a couple of eighth notes. Okay, so it might take you a while to get to that speed. I can't play this tune through, or I would play a lot more of this to show you, but what I will do is we're going to do some close-ups of the finger picking stuff as well, so you can really see what's going on with my right hand, because to be honest, this bit ain't that interesting for this tune, okay? In the nicest possible way, of course. Right, let's play this through slowly, okay? That's the bit you need to nail first, so get that so that you can play it comfortably. Okay? Now there's a variation immediately in this, so the first part, you're just concentrating on these 4 strings. So the pattern starts. Okay, I'll do a close-up of that in a sec. Then you go to this. Now those are very subtly different. You're playing the first part with just these 4 strings. The next pattern, you ignore that second string, or the third string, which is the D string, okay? You ignore that one, you're just playing. Okay, so you're just going to move the pattern. So you play. So your first challenge is going to be jumping over that with your thumb and getting used to that. So I would recommend you do this first, okay? Learn this one. Build that up. Till you can play it roughly like that, okay? Then try the next part. Just play that over and over again, okay? And this just comes down to muscle memory, so a lot of practice on this will do you wonders, trust me. Despite me not being able to play it yet. That's messy as heck, but there we go. It's not bad, okay? So, and then try and switch between the two. That's tricky. Then you got this. And Eddie manages to do that, okay? He manages to play, which I can't do. That's super painful, right? But he's got ginormous little fingers, so much easier to play this. Again, let's go through that slowly so you can see what my fingers are doing here, okay? Now, important note on these two fingers, and I'll repeat this several times, they do not move. Once the pattern is locked in, it's the thumb that does all the movement between the strings, okay? So when you've got all four next to each other, you're going to be playing. They're only playing on their allotted string for that phrase, okay? When we move up to this one, all you're doing is your two fingers are moving from this. They go up one string, okay? But your thumb has to just now jump over this string, okay? That's the only difference between the pattern. Versus, these move up here, and this now has to jump over the D string, okay? And then you're into the G shape. For the G, the pattern is the same as this one that we played earlier. But you move your fingers down one string. You move them from this position to this position, and they stay there for this chord. Your thumb just has to remember to move over that string. So you're starting on the E, and then you're playing the D, G and B. And all of this is here, okay, so that one I found the easiest to nail, actually. I found going from the C found that much harder than this. Back round, okay? So just set your expectations with yourself, because this will take a while. It's a super tricky tune, but I think if you practice it slowly, you will start to see improvements very quickly, okay? But, you know, we could be talking weeks and weeks, right? So rather than hours and minutes. Now, we've been focusing on this a lot, but basically the chords are just C, to G, that's it. Pretty basic, okay? The next section is E minor to F. A minor to F's a bit tricky, I find. So that might take a bit longer to get, okay? Because you're basically playing So your fingers are playing this pattern to this pattern. Don't know why that's tricky, because these two fingers are going to stay the same from the A minor but I think it's the change from the chord that gets me there. You may find that okay. So that again slowly. Now there's one last section, which is the chorus part, okay, and this is probably the trickiest bit as well, actually. And the chords for this go G, D minor, G, D minor, F, A minor, then this run. And then back round to the C part, okay? Let's go through the picking pattern of that. So it is similar to the G part, but all you're doing is repeating a shorter phrase. That's the phrase. Play that twice, and that's the first bar. Then you're going to go to the D. And again, you're just playing the top 4 strings here. F chord, A minor. Now this time you're just playing these 4 strings. So this is like the very first phrase, okay? So you're playing from the A to the B there, okay? Then you go back to the D for half a phrase. So this bit's tricky because you're changing up the patterns quite quickly, alright? So for the first half of this bar, you're on the top 4. For this one, you're actually then going to the A and then the top 3, alright? Which is A, G, B, E. And the same for the B. Lovely. And then for this, you play this how you want. For this part, I do get my 4th finger in, actually, which is basically, but with and that is it. Well, I know that was challenging, but stick with it, you will nail it. Vikram, brilliant suggestion. Thanks very much again for your support as well. And I hope everyone else enjoyed it. So see you soon. Cheers, bye-bye.